What is up, everyone? This is Clinton from God's Hand Studios, and today I'm so excited because finally we are going to be doing our first video editing, and we'll be doing this utilizing both the tools we learned in the previous tutorial and most of the concept we've shared before now in our previous video editing series. So video editing is like puzzle solving. You take all the raw clips you've recorded. By the way, raw clips are simply video files, the way they came out straight out of your camera. Whether it's a phone camera or a real camera, raw clips are those files exactly the way they came out from your camera. What you'll be doing in video editing is that you arrange them, cut and polish them precisely so as to tell a clear story. I've already created the project file for the video editing, and this is it. I won't be discussing on how I create folders or how to create folders. I've already done all those things in our previous tutorial. So if there is anything you think you are not familiar with in this process or in this stage, I would recommend you go to our previous tutorials because we've already discussed this concept. With that being said, let's now go ahead and import our raw clip. First things first, let's organize our project. So I will select the first clip and scroll all the way down and select the last clip, and I will hit Shift B on my keyboard. It will put those files inside a folder, and this is our sequence. So let me go ahead and rename this one as well. Let me call it source cuts. All right, before we start editing, let's review our sequence settings because I know that some things might not be right. First of all, select your sequence, the sequence you want to change the setting. Then go to sequence settings. Then okay, you can see we shot 4K, 2160 by 3840. So let's reduce this one to 1080 by 1920. Then let's reduce the frame rate from 50 frames per second to 25 frames per second, and ensure that auto tune map media is selected. Let's go ahead and hit OK. We've not made any changes yet, so okay. All right, so the next thing you will notice is that our videos now looks cropped in. This is simply because we shot on 4K and we are editing it on HD. So let me select, or like press Ctrl A to select all your clips, then right click and scale them to frame size. So we now have our full frame size back. The next thing we'll be doing is to create several other sequences that will assist the video editing we are doing. And the major reason why we are doing that is going to be reviewed in a minute. But let's first create the sequence. Change the settings to 1080 by 1920 to complement what we are doing, because this is a vertical video, it's not a landscape video. And let's call it picked for captions. I edit my videos 98% of the time using this workflow, and the reason is because you will edit better when you are familiar with the clips you want to edit. This will help you even a lot more when you're editing videos that are not shot by you. But even though these videos are shot by me, I still have to do this, so I will get familiar with my clips. If you understand it better, you will tell a better story. If you just import your clip and start editing and cutting and adding music right after you have imported your clips without even going through your clips to know what they look like, you might not create a video that you are proud of. And even in the long run, it's going to take you much time, because let's say you're editing video and you get to the middle and you notice that there is a clip there that should be better for an intro clip, and there is a clip in the beginning that will work better as an outro clip. This thing takes a whole lot of time and comes with a whole lot of confusion, especially when you are in the middle of video editing. To avoid all those processes, we are going to do a picked for caption before we now start editing. So that is the reason why we created this sequence. And we'll create one more sequence by duplicating this one, and let's call it edited video. When we are done organizing our clips in this picked for caption, we will now edit the video here. And we've also discussed this concept in our previous video editing. That is workspace. It's workspace. How you arrange your panels and the rest to appear best the way it should be. So I believe this is it. Let's open up our sequence and keep it here. All right, so the next thing we'll be doing is, if you notice, you see that our clips doesn't have any color information, and this is because we shot this video in Sony ZV-E1 S-Log3 Cine. So let's correct this color so we can see color informations in our video. Go to the folder that contains your clip, then hit Ctrl A in your keyboard to select all the clips. Then right click on one of them. As long as they are all selected, then go to modify and color. Then check override media color space and click on this drop down arrow here and select the color profile you shot on. This process is basically for people that shot in a specific color profile that they want corrected before they start editing. If you shot, let's say, a minute neutral profile, or even you didn't use any profile to shoot, this process might not be necessary for you. Since our video is shot on S-Log3 Cine, let's go ahead and select it and hit OK. Wonderful. So now we are set. You can see we have color informations now in our video. So in this phase, we are not really concerned about our editing or the things, the effects we are going to do, the transitions and all those things. All those things are not necessary now. What we are doing now is to select the clips we will be working with. In this process is when we will have to get familiar with the clips, to know what our clips look like, to know how the editing is going to come out. Let's start. I will scroll till when the movement starts. This is a fashion shoot, so we are much more concerned about the movement and the composition. Okay, I believe the shot started here, so we'll hit E, that's to cut from there, and we play it through. And it ends here, so we'll hit E again. Okay, and we'll now select this particular portion and import it here in our picked for caption. I know all the shortcuts by heart, so I prefer using shortcut because it makes my editing much more fluid. So to set this particular shortcut, because this is not a default shortcut, notice you don't see me hit C, cut, then select V and move. I just hit E and it does the cutting for me. So to do that, you go to Edit, Keyboard Shortcut, or you press Ctrl-Alt-K on your keyboard and it's going to bring you to this menu or these windows. It will pop these windows up for you. The E key already has another shortcut or another function assigned to it, but what we'll do is we'll select E, then we come over to this side. This is what you would do if you don't already have it. You come over to this side, in the none you hit this X button and it will cancel it out. Then after doing that, you now come to this search area and type add edit. Add edit is the function that you see us performing. That's the function we are using to cut our clips from any point of selection with the keyboard. So we select add edit, then we come here to this shortcut. You see a shortcut menu here and we hit E. Notice that immediately we select E, it will add it as a shortcut for us. If we press OK now, what we have successfully done is that whenever we select a clip and we hit E on the keyboard, it will split that clip for us at the point of the time ruler. So it's going to make your cutting much more easier. So we'll continue to repeat this process we did here to all our videos here till we are done. This is to get ourselves familiar with these clips. And the next thing we do is to group our clips. Notice that even though our clip is already in the picked for caption, it shows that we have selected a clip to work with, but it's still vague. We don't know what it is. And if we don't group it and continue to add much more clips to this one, you see that even though we've selected it, it will still be hard for us to perform this video editing because it's not clear. Imagine you did a video section where you are doing a documentary video, you did some in the market, some in the palace, some in, you understand, and you import all those things into one place. You will notice that you won't even know where to start from. So for us to avoid that mistake, we are going to be grouping it through the use of markers. Markers in Premiere Pro is what we use to group our selected clips into one singular piece. For instance, in this particular shoot we did, we worked with 2 different models, and if you mix all their clips together, if you want to do a separate video for them, it's going to be much more hard for you. So click outside of your clip in case you selected any clip, because we will be adding these markers to your timeline, and the shortcut to add the marker is M. If you press M on your keyboard, it will add a marker for you. And if you double click on the marker or press M again, it's going to open the marker window. And here is where you specify what the marker is for. So this marker is for our model. Let's say her name is Sonia. I will write Sonia and increase the duration. You can as well increase the duration here, but just increase the duration here so it will be much more easier for you to do it there. Then add a color to the marker. Let's say white, and press OK. So you can see that our model Sonia has a marker. Her clips now will be grouped into this place. Oh, by the way, we will have to make this marker much more detailed. We'll add more detail to this Sonia because she wore different outfit for this particular shoot. And if we just say Sonia, what about the red gown? What about, you understand, the other outfits? We want to keep everything precise and in orderly form. Let's now select this thing and say Sonia black gown. I think this is much more detailed. Any clip we'll be working with here that she's wearing a black gown, we'll be adding it to this marker. So let's come to this clip and look for where the movements are here. I think our movement started from here, which is the reasonable area of our recording. I think it stopped here, and we hit E again and select only this portion. And you can also observe that both the clip, that's the video clip, and the audio clip is selected. And this is because it is linked. That's your camera is doing these 2 things at once. And also in our linked selection here is toggled on. If you toggle it off, you can now select only video or audio clip and move it as you wish. But we will toggle it on because we'll be using the functional key Alt. It will be Option on the Mac, but Alt on the window to select the clip. So we'll hit Alt, then select the video clip and then move it. We'll continue to do this to these clips so that we can get familiar with them for a more efficient workflow. And finally, we are done with our clip selection. Let's go over to our edited video sequence and commence our editing. Let's bring it over here. Now learn this process today. Before you start editing a video, you should first of all think of the concept, what it will look like. I noticed that it's best to visualize the end result even before you commence. As you are cutting it, you are thinking of, is it going to be a fast-paced edit? Is it going to be a calm and steady edit? Is it going to be a groovy edit? All those ideas are things you have to do in your brainstorming process so that the actual video editing will be much easier for you. So for me, what I visualized is a rocky vibe. Then the videos mostly are going to be in slow motion. You can use any platform you wish to get a music, or for me, I use YouTube. So let's head over to YouTube and get our music and continue. And now I found a music I like that I will be using to do this video editing. So let's play the music so you hear what it sounds like before we start. So you feel the music now, you know what it sounds like. And like I said, we are going to keep this editing process very simple. So it won't be too off or above what we taught in our previous video editing series. I think I will cut it from here. From here, I'm going to fade the music off. So this is the segment we will use in our video editing. This work area indicates the portion we are using in our sequence because there are a whole lot of space here, but this work area is the area of our editing, and for now we are narrowing it down to the length of this music. And if you can't find the work area in your sequence, you could just head over to this panel here. If you hit this icon, click on this icon, work area. I've set my shortcut to be Alt W. You can as well set the shortcut in your keyboard shortcuts. So that's it. Now let's start the editing. In our selection, I saw a clip of the model walking down. Let me check. Okay, so this is the clip. Okay, since we are revealing them, by the way, the shot didn't actually start here. We have so many clips from the top, but I selected this portion to do a simple video editing. As we've gone through, what we'll be doing is selecting the best portions or portions we think are good that we would like to edit, areas we would like to find in our final video. I'm already familiar with these clips because I just did the pick for captions now. So I'll just be selecting the clips that I love and we'll start working with them right away. Okay, this portion is good for intro, so I will select it. It looks like there is a bit of weight here, so I think I will start from here. Okay, for the intro, I think it's best if I slowed it down because it's a bit fast paced now. So what I will do, the shortcut, remember we discussed on how to slow your clips down using the raise stretch tool. You can slow it down, but I don't use it personally to slow my clips down because of precision. I would love to know the percentage is being slowed down by, because this clip in particular is shot at 50 frames per second, so it's a bit of high frame rate. We can slow it down. You can't do this if your clips are shot in 25 or 24 frames per second. So because we have those extra frames, what we will do is right click here, speed duration, then slow it down by 50%. And the shortcut for speed duration is also Ctrl R. It's not here, but it's Ctrl R. And let's go 50%. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so maybe I will start from here. Another thing you would learn how to do is to monitor beats. I've worked with some people, like people that are starting out in video editing that don't know anything about music. They don't know how beats hit, the points to change their clips, like the right point you would change without noticing any absurd cuts. So these are the things you do. These are the personal trainings you give to yourself now to understand music, to know the best point to change a clip and to know which clip matches with what. And like I said before now, there are no definite or strict ways of doing these things or of editing a video. As you advance, you can choose to do anything you want, cut any point you want, and still get a creative video if you do it with purpose. Let's continue now. Let me hit with this bit, and I'll be saying now to indicate good points you can cut a video. So let's start. You understand? All these points, all these segments are good points where you can cut your video and still, or where you can switch a video clip and still have a good cut. We won't be doing any fancy transition, just to keep it simple, but we'll be selecting the best out of our clip because this is what you'll be doing most times when you're editing: cutting, rearranging, and selection. So I think we are good with this one. So let's select another clip. I think I saw a clip of walking down. Let me look for it. This one. So we can have a good continuation. Okay, this one ends here. These are the things you monitor as well. So she's stepping forward with her right foot. So we'll look for a continuation of that. I think this place now will work because she's stepping forward as well. There are some mistakes you want to avoid, like see the right foot is up now, and in your next clip you are starting with this one. Let's say something like this. You see, these are minute mistakes that makes videos look unprofessional, so you should watch out for that. Know which movement a person is making and how to continue, how best to continue with that movement. So let's commence with this one. And the next thing we'll do for it to synchronize is we'll slow this one down to 50% as well. You see? I'll even cut up a bit so as to get a better synchronization with the audio. The music paused here, so I will cut here. I think this is a good place to cut as well. Let's decide between these two. Let me play. I think this one is better. We have a good exposure here. I will slow it down here, and here I will speed it up. Before I speed it up, there is a better technique to do this. It's called time remapping, speed ramping. So if I time remap it, I'm going to have a smoother transition from the slow section to the fast section. But because we said I won't be applying any technique I've not done before so as to keep it simple, we'll ignore that one and speed it up to see what it looks like. Let's speed it to 80% and see what it looks like. Oh, it doesn't look bad at all. Let me go 100 and see what it looks like. Beautiful. I think it's awesome. Then from here now we can cut to another clip. So let's go through our selected clips. We even have multiple outfits to select from. Let's go into the next one. Okay, let's start from here. From our second model. We'll take out that first section. So we'll start a bit before the beat. There is a slight delay. Watch out for that and fill it up. Her footsteps are much faster than the beat, so let's slow it down a bit to like 80% and see whether it works. Okay, so we'll have to drag this one up a little bit. I think here is a good point of change. Another thing you should be careful of is avoiding long duration of clips, especially in highlights like this. You don't want a clip maybe that doesn't have effect, just a simple clip to appear in the screen for a very long time. Your viewers are going to get bored with the clip. So for this kind of video, a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds max to get an engaging video, because it's a short duration edit. Therefore, the faster you switch clip, the more chance you have to engage your viewers. And also, clip selection is very important. Even though you shot so many clips, select the best. After a shoot, you might have like an hour or more of shoot, but still narrow it down to like 30 seconds. For you to do that and do that best, you have to select the best portion of that clip to bring out the best in that particular video editing. Let's continue. Then here, I think we have a full shot of her walking down. Here is a good portion to continue. We'll now slow it down as well to match the previous ones. Let's do 60 and see what it looks like. No, it's too slow. I think we'll do 80. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a good point to cut. Let's cut into something better. Okay, so let's go for this one and see whether it works. And let me add it in. So I think this one works. So for here now, I will drag this clip backward. I won't allow it to hit at the beat because it's not in continuation with this motion. So I will allow it to come before, so it doesn't look absurd. It doesn't interrupt the flow of a video. Let's play it now and see what it looks like. We got a better editing. Now let's move into the next one. So this is Sonia in her next outfit. Okay, let's play this one and see what Then for this one now, I told her to add a little action for this particular frame for a transition I want to do, or for an effect I want to do. But for the sake of our video, let's utilize it and know whether it works. So let's say I cut in from here and speed this clip up to like 150% to know whether she will push at the point of the beat. Oh, it's too slow. Let's do 200 and see whether it works. Oh, this is good. I think it works. So here, let's do 300. Remember what I said? There is a better way to do it, which I will teach you in our subsequent videos. That's called time remapping. So let's go. Okay, I think I didn't speed up at the right place. Let me speed it up from here when she's about to push. So let's do 350 and see whether it works. Wow. So guys, you can see it's worked. So from here, maybe I will slow it down to 100. Let's play it worked perfectly well. All right, so from here now, let me select another clip that will succeed that particular clip. I have this video clip when she's adjusting her hair, so it will be a perfect continuation for that clip. Let's quickly do that. I'm slowing it down. Okay, let me do 80. I think 50 is too slow. I think this one will work. Yeah, let's go for this one. Okay, from here I think maybe I will combine two shots. For this particular section, let me show you the use of a ripple edit tool. Like I told you, I use it a lot while I'm editing video. So let's say, for instance, I cut at this point. I realized that I needed to cut from another point and not where I just did. What I would have done is to, with the selection tool, I would drag this here and then drag the second one here. But with the ripple edit tool, I could just hit N on my keyboard and drag this one to the point I need it to be cut from. And with this, it will save me that time. So that's the use of the ripple edit tool. You continue to make use of more of these tools in your editing journey to make your workflow much more easier. Let's check whether it worked with our format. It worked. I think if I slow it down to 70%, it's going to work. Much better. Okay, so for this clip, let's look for a good clip for the ending. Okay. All right, so I'm using this clip. Let's make their foot to hit the ground at this cut. Yeah, that was a good point to slow down. So from here, let's say I slow it to like 60%. Let's see whether it works. Much better. Let's do 70. Beautiful. I think we can use this to close our shots. So we select it and slow it down. Let's see how it works. These are the type of clips where you cut before the cut, because it's not the same motion. So it's just a simple editing technique. If I'm to put this clip at the point of this cut, it's not going to sync well because they are not making the same motion. So for that, I'm going to move my clip a little before the point of cut. Let's do that now. Let's see how it goes. I think from here, so wonderful. Wonderful. So here is a good point to add the client's logo for shoots like this, a short video. Okay, let me search for one of our logo templates and add it there quickly. This is a logo template we use for some of our videos. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think it worked perfectly well. So what I will do is to move this one up to align with the one that came after it. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and render our video and play it from start to finish and see what it looks like. Whoa, that's beautiful, guys. That's beautiful for our first video editing. I believe you learned one or two editing tricks that you can apply to your next video editing project. So that is it for this tutorial, guys. Once you are done getting it informed to the way you want it to look, the next thing now will be to export. The shortcut for exporting a video in Premiere Pro is Ctrl+M, but you can also go to File, Export and Media. Then here is file name. Select the name you want it to be called. So for now, I think I will call it VSN. Then in parentheses, first editing. Then this is location. Where do you want it to be saved? I'll put it in the desktop for the sake of this tutorial. Let's say final export. We'll create a folder, call it final export. And the name is VSN first editing. Then also preset 4K usual phone. These are presets I created, but we won't be using presets. Come down to the file format. You'll be working mostly with H.264. That's, I will call it the global version now. Then next, come down to this video tab. This is where we select the frame size we intend to give to our client. In the custom, I would like to export the video as 4K as well to get the best quality. So remember what we said about swapping. This is 3840 by 2160. So what we'll be doing is going to be 2160 by 3840. So now we have our accurate frame size. Then we click on more, render at maximum depth, render using maximum render quality, checked, high. I like to leave my profile at high, and most times I use 6.1. And VBR pass 1, VBR pass 2. VBR pass 2 is going to sample the video twice. Although if you are exporting at high bitrate at VBR pass 1, for me, I've not seen any difference. Maybe it's not visible to my natural eye. But when you are doing it for, like when you are compressing the video, like for a lower bitrate, let's say you are using a bitrate of 3 or so, or 4, then I would recommend you use VBR pass 2. Since it's a variable bitrate, it's going to select the best bitrate for a particular segment of your video. So, but I think I'll be doing 12 bitrates. But if I intend to post this video on YouTube, I will do much more bitrate. Maybe I will do 40 or 60, you understand? But for now, let's do 12 and VBR pass 1. I think we are good. So what we need to do now is to click export or queue it in Adobe Encoder. But this is short. I think export will do the work. And watch our video export. And that's the use of this work area. Now it's going to export only the work area, only this work area. And when the video is done, I'm going to play the final edit for you in the tutorial. But before we quit this video, I'm going to share one more tip for editing a vertical video, a tip I learned from one of my students. The trick I'm talking of is this. It's best to rearrange your workspace if you're editing a vertical video. You'll notice that this sequence we are using, or you notice that this workspace we are using to edit is basically for landscape videos. You can see it's longer than it is tall. So the best thing we found to do is to drag this program to the side of your workspace and maybe move your Lumetri panel elsewhere, maybe somewhere here, and then scale it up. Wonderful. You can see now we have a better view of edit. I forgot to do that in the beginning of the tutorial. Sorry it's coming late, but hope you get the point. That is it, guys, for this tutorial. I know it's quite a long one. It's not supposed to be this long. If I'm to do a simple edit like this, we have to slow down to this pace so that everyone can follow up. Don't forget to like, share, comment if you didn't understand anything, ask questions, and also subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on any details we'll be teaching in our further editing series. With that being said, see you next week in our next tutorial. Bye bye.